What's up, YouTube? So, thinking of starting a new segment. The new segment is going to be called Leash Lessons because we're out here walking. So this is Ronnie and this is Toby here. Say hi. Anyways, these are my two dogs. But anyways, I walk them quite a bit. I walk like 1 hour plus in the mornings and then 40-ish minutes in the evening after they have their dinner. And yeah, so Ronnie's 10, he turns 11 on June 3rd, and Toby turns 10 on December 2nd. But anyways, so leash lessons are going to be about like quick 3 to 5 minute videos about just lessons that I've learned in entrepreneurship, general life lessons, I guess. So today's quick life lesson, or leash lesson, I should call it, is going to be about consistency over intensity and what it means and how you can actually implement it. So pretty much in the past decade of my life being an entrepreneur, and I guess even like this is applicable to everything in your life, but at a certain point you realize that if you want things to last, they have to become a part of your routine. You can't just have short, intense bursts because they're going to die out. For relationships, you can use that for the gym, for fitness, for health. It's often, like I remember one of my first jobs when I was 14 to 21 years old, I used to work at a gym. And the guys who were the most consistent were the guys who were able to understand that intensity isn't as important as consistency is. It's more important to show up and even do the bare minimum. Like obviously you have to have a minimum effective dose, but if you know what it is, it's much easier to show up and do that even on your worst days than just be doing intensity and then quitting. And that's what leads to burnout, I think. Like I've never really been burnt out in my life. And I think that's one of the reasons I'm able to succeed, because I just make it a part of my lifestyle. And if you can't make it a part of your lifestyle, I don't think you should be doing it in the first place. Now, obviously your lifestyle can change when you have kids, you get married, things like that. But, you know, so like if fitness is a part of your lifestyle, I see moms who work out. Dude, I've seen pregnant ladies at the gym, right? So like, it's a part of their lifestyle and that's how they make it work. So that consistency matters to them. And like in business, it's the same thing. Like if you have an end goal for how much income or revenue you want to do, and then your goal is that, you just like reverse engineer it, right? Like if you want to make 100K, how many sales do you have to make? And then out of those sales, like what's your net profit margin, right? And then you have to know how many leads you get. And that's your minimum effective dose. Like, you know, the bare minimum that you need to do every single day. Now, obviously you can have good days, bad days. You can go above and beyond on some days. But the truth is, like, if you stay consistent and you have a solid baseline, it's gonna serve you much better than having these intense bursts where you're doing a bunch of shit and then you kind of just give up on it, right? And it's like, in my last video, I talked about this in terms of like training for a marathon. Like if you go out today and run 10K and then you take a week off, that 10K doesn't really mean shit. But if you were to go out today and run 5K and then you ran 5K 4 or 5 days out of the week, one, you went further and you trained better. But number two, it's something that actually gives you results and you can actually maintain it long term. And you know, I was saying this in my last video, if you can't do it for 10 years, don't fucking bother anyways, because you're just gonna torture yourself. So, you know, take care of your mental health. And if you can't do something, it's okay, dude. Like, work up to it. Work up to that consistency. It's always the people who start out with this intensity that burn out. And you see this in dieting too, right? It's like the people who do these like fad crash diets, like, I'm not gonna have carbs ever. And then 4 days in, they're binge eating pizza and ice cream and like fucking crying watching rom-coms and shit, right? Like, no shit, dude. And you fuck yourself up emotionally as well. And that's like a whole different topic that like maybe I'll get into in a different video. But you gotta take care of your mental health. And the best way to take care of your mental health is to understand that as long as you do the minimum effective dose and you stack small wins, you're gonna feel like a winner, right? Nobody ever gets everything done on their to-do list for the day and then feels like shit. Like, it's very rare, or there's something else going on. So yeah, that's pretty much the message for today. Today's leash lesson number 1 is consistency over intensity, and do what you can to maintain that balance, because it'll make sure you get to your goal faster. And like another thing that just pops up in my head is like, it's like the parable of the tortoise and the hare, right? Like the hare went really fast with intensity, took a fucking nap in the middle, and the tortoise was just going slow and keeping his pace, and he ended up winning. So that's kind of how everything is in life. And you know, it just makes me think, it's like interesting how everybody says the school system is so shit. You hear these stories when you're a kid and you think they mean nothing until you get older and you actually have the intelligence to interpret it. But I also think that's like a story for another day. I feel like I'm going off on a tangent on why education is important. Like, I'm a huge advocate for education, and even post-secondary.